Hooray! Welcome to the channel. My name is Victor, and I'm going to be your anchor for this series. So, we are currently on the Google Cloud certification series. And if you want to get certified, if you want to have your Google Cloud certifications, either you want to take the foundation certifications, or you want to take the associate, or you want to take the professional certification, you could watch this video from the beginning to the end. The first series I've done have been on the Cloud Digital Leader Certification. I will drop the link on the description of this video. So currently we want to look at the Google Cloud Engineer Certification. So it's an associate certification. If you want to pass this certification, just look at what I'm here to say. A few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, I've been deploying either data or apps on the cloud, either Google Cloud or AWS. Some time ago, I got the AWS certification. It expired sometime last year. This was a handle I've used for the last 4 or 5 years. I didn't renew this particular certification, but I went ahead to renew or grab the AWS Certified Solutions Architect certification sometime this year. So this is going to expire in the next 3 years. And also sometime last year, I got the Cloud Digital Leader certification. So we want to begin the series for the Google Cloud Associate Engineer certification. Now, what's this certification all about? So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. You could drop me a comment if you're ready to take this exam, if you need guide. And I'm going to start something that looks like a 30 days challenge, a series that's going to help you actually sit and pass your AS exam or your Associate Cloud Engineer certification. Now, this exam is a 2 hours exam. It's for intermediate levels cloud developers or engineers. Now, for anybody that want to get certified in Google Cloud, now, since Google have foundational certification, before now, you should have been using cloud, or you've taken the Google Cloud Digital Leader certification, or you can be using, let's say, Azure, that's from Microsoft, or AWS. Any of those is fine. But this associate cloud certification is going to test your knowledge in a variety of things. Now, the exam is a multiple choice exam. This is what some of the exam question looks like. Now, I've got to fill my name here. Let me just do that shortly, and we'll see what the exam looks like. Now, if you fill the questions before now, so you can see, I think, a 30 or 22 test question that can help you prepare for the exam. So it, like I said, is an OBJ question. If you prepare properly, you're going to pass the exam. Not too much of a hard exam, but I'm going to be telling you how you're going to prepare and actually ace this exam. Now, one way you could prepare for the exam is by going through the Cloud Skill Boost platform. The Cloud Skills Boost platform is a learning platform owned by Google. It's called Google Cloud Skills Boost. You could use that in different learning paths to actually learn and prepare for your exam. Now, you learn by purchasing maybe monthly subscription or a yearly subscription, depending on what your budget looks like. If you type associate, right, on this Cloud Skill Boost, it's going to open up and you're going to see quite a lot of learning paths. So there are several learning paths, whether you're taking AI, whether you're taking network, whether you're taking database, whatever kind of certification you're taking. Now, this is the learning path, associate data. Okay, let me see, cloud engineer, I think. So yes, okay, this is Cloud Engineer Learning Part. So this is the one you can get started with if you're preparing for the Google Cloud Engineer certification. So it has quite a lot of content. For instance, I already have access to the platform. This is what it looks like. So it has content in a tour of Google Cloud Hands-on Labs. It's a 45 minutes course. You have how do you prepare for your certification journey? I've taken this course also, Google Cloud Fundamentals, Core Infrastructure. You have quite a lot of courses that exhaust all of the exam guide, right? Up to the end. And once you're done with any of them, you're going to get your digital badge. Now, there are some of them that the courses that are just purely labs. So let us look at this one, see what it looks like. Now, so the platform has exhaustive content, PDFs, labs. See, congratulations, you've earned a badge for completing the setup and app dev environment on Google Cloud. So if you click on this, you're going to see all the labs. So anyone you see this bottle-like kind of icon, it tells you that it's a lab. If you click on each one, let's say Cloud Console, the Google Cloud Console, the beauty about the learning platform by Google as compared to either AWS or Azure is that it typifies the exact environment you have if you actually use Google Cloud. That is GCP. So I'm going to load up the environment and you're going to see what a lab looks like. So if you complete any of the lab, you're going to have a badge. Now, this is what my badge look like. My badge wallet or my badge archive or my badge profile. So these are some of the labs, some of the badges I've gotten completing some of the courses. Right? So any of them that loads, I'm going to show you what the Google Cloud interface looks like. Now, what are the exam objectives like? So the exam objectives covers quite a lot of areas. So how do you set up your Google Cloud environment? So that covers 20% of the exam. So things like IAM rules, identity and access management, cloud identity, APIs, enabling APIs within projects. For instance, in Google Cloud, for anything you want to do, either you want to do storage, you want to do network, you want to use any of the Google Cloud services, you have to enable those application programming interface before you can actually use them. Now, manage billing, because for the services that you're going to be using for your client, let's say you want to use Google Maps, you might need to turn on those billing, you might need to pay for those services. Now, for instance, section 2, which covers 17.5% of the exam, you're going to be learning how to plan and configure a cloud solution. Now, there are several workloads that you might be deploying in the cloud. Cloud is about how can you deliver enterprise systems for either individuals, for business, or for large-scale enterprises. For instance, compute engine, Kubernetes, Cloud Run, Cloud Function, Spot virtual machine instances. So Spot virtual machine instances here, we mean virtual machines that you're just going to be needing on the need basis, right? Let's say you need a, let's say 256 gig and let's say a 16 gig RAM system in the cloud, you want to use it for a solution, that is a virtual machine. So, but if you're going to need them just on demand basis, and you can actually relinquish the machine as at when you don't have demand for it, that is what you call spot instances. And you can actually have quite a number of them. Now, another thing you're going to be learning is how do you plan and configure data storage. So Google have quite a lot of different data storage options. Either you're doing something that has to do with data, or you need a database, or you need to store files, or you need to store static websites, or you want to store information in a database, depending on what you're trying to work on. Google Cloud have all of those solutions. Then you're going to be choosing different storage options, whether it's going to be zonal, regional, standard, nearline, code line, or archive, something you're going to be using once in a while. Google Cloud have all of those storage options. So the curriculum is very, very detailed. I'm going to drop the link of this curriculum in the description of this video. Now, like I said, this is what the learning part looks like. Now, for the materials with respect to you preparing for your exam. So for the slide 1, for instance, it covers things like compute engine, VPC, that is virtual private cloud, networks, Kubernetes, Cloud Run, Cloud Functions, IAM, database, and storage option. Now, one thing you need to understand is that for this particular certification, it's like an entry-level cloud certification that is technical. It's an entry-level technical cloud certification. So things like logging and monitoring. So you're just going to be learning quite a lot about the cloud, what happens in the cloud, whether you want to do database, you want to do storage, whether you want to do network. You have all of that in the content of the exam. Now, the next you're going to be learning is about networking the cloud. That's why before you come to learn cloud, you should have some fundamentals in networking. On this channel, I have a comprehensive series on the Cisco Certified Support Technician Networking series. I also have the Computer A Plus series on this channel. You could grab all of those skill sets before you start using the cloud. Anytime you say cloud, it means that you are trying to move from on-prem to a virtual environment. So what you have on-prem is like your websites, like your network, is like your servers, is like your database. And anytime you want to push this to the cloud, you will need some networking skills to be able to do that. And here in section 2 of the course, you're going to be learning VPC network, right? So things like managing network resources, creating a subnet on your existing VPC, cloud DNS. So just like AWS and Azure, GCP have quite a lot of services that can help you configure an entire network, like your domain name service, like your NAT, if you need to configure your internal network and your external or public network, load balancers or firewall rules. The VPC network module covers all of those details. Now, in the third module, you're going to be learning about Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is an offshoot of virtualization. Anytime you want to deploy apps and you don't want to be concerned about the underlying operating system. So that's when you start deploying Kubernetes, especially for developers. They're going to be using this quite a lot. And all of the things you need to actually configure those kind of compute resources in the cloud using Kubernetes or Kubernetes resources, you learn all of that in this particular module. Now, for the next module, you're going to be learning about storage and data transfer. So either you're going to, after your ACE exam, that's after your Google Cloud uh, engineer certification, if you want to go into security, cloud security, you want to go into data engineering, you want to go to network, you want to go into database, if you want to go into architecture in the cloud, you need to also understand the fundamentals, which is web, storage, network. These are very, very fundamentals. No matter what you're going to be doing in the cloud, you're going to see that you will need to actually tell what kind of storage system or product choice from Google you're going to be using. Are you going to be using Cloud SQL or BigQuery when you have to do a lot of data analytics? Or is it going to be fast? Or is it going to be Cloud Spanner? Cloud Spanner when you need to do globally scalable systems, or you're going to be using Bigtable. So which kind of storage device or which kind of storage means are you going to be using the cloud? Now, for instance, for pub sub, where you're going to be doing some kind of publication subscription or publishing subscription model. Take, for instance, you have just like your newsletter system where you subscribe to a particular topic and you get notification for that. Let's say, for instance, you want people to actually sign up for something or you want a service to sign up for feedback from another service and get notified. Or you say, for instance, you say anytime somebody uploads something to your database, you want another service to be notified to actually send an email or to send an SMS. That's where you use a service like Pub Sub or Cloud Bigtable, Dataproc, Dataflow, Cloud Storage. All of these kind of storage means it's what you're going to be learning in the storage and data transfer options. Then the next thing you also want to be learning is resource hierarchy. So you have what we call the project, you have policies, you have IAM. IAM is at the core of most cloud services, right? So anytime you create a cloud service, you will need to give people permission to be able to use that. And that's why you have a lot of data breaches, you have a lot of cybersecurity incidents, because people use the cloud and they don't know how to manage cloud. And this particular module is going to teach you how to set up all of those things. Create the root user, then create subsequent users, and now attach policies to them, right? Attach policies. So the policies will tell what kind of resources will a particular type user be able to have access to. It's just like you have a system, you create a user, create an admin, create a standard user, you create a maybe guest user, and you now say, okay, this particular user will be only able to have access to this particular thing or this particular thing. In the cloud, same thing applies, right? Then, of course, billing. So how do you aggregate most of your billing so that all of the services you're using in the cloud, you are charged either once or you are charged per account? So you learn about cloud identity, cloud resource manager, then IAM, identity and access management. Then the last thing we're going to be considering in this series is that you're going to be learning about exam registration. So how do you register for your exam? How do you get prepared? How do you get certified? You could take this exam right from your home or you could take it from the test center. Okay, thank you very much. So this is just a get started with respect to the Google Cloud Associate Engineer certification. So subsequently, I'm going to be bringing you more content. I'm going to be bringing you learnings for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules. Of course, lastly, we're also going to be looking at the exam registration. So if you want to get vouchers, if you want to get access to the cloud learning platform, or you want to sign up for our cloud mentorship program, you could do well to comment on the session on this video, or you can contact us. We'll sign you up to the platform and you get started learning. But I'm always going to be bringing excerpts of the learnings in the mentorship group to the YouTube platform. Thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next series.